Welcome back at 7:30 on your Sunday morning and taking a live look outside on our Osage Casino Sky Cam Network. Kendall, we can see a few clouds out there and a cooler start definitely than yesterday morning.
Yes, it's much cooler today. That's the good news. So we had 2 days of triple-digit heat. So if you are tired of the heat, well, I have great news because that is over with, at least for today, as well as a large majority of next week. But right now we're just dealing with thick overcast skies. Just taking a live look out at the gathering place. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are rolling through the area. So last night it was a little bit rowdy in some locations. We had some stronger storms, especially off to the north and to the west. But right now we're just mainly dealing with light shower activity, and we're not even seeing hardly any lightning activity at all in any of these showers and thunderstorms. So right now what we are seeing is just a band of shower activity starting to dissipate in southeast Kansas, and then a little bit more down to the south near Manford, all the way pushing down to Yale and Cushing, and then also down to the south near Oklahoma City. But temperatures were in the 70s, so it's pleasant to start off our Sunday morning. Low to mid 70s are very common all across Green Country. 75 in Sallisaw, 76 in Eufaula, and 76 as well in Okmulgee. So if you are headed out, maybe you're doing some golfing later on this afternoon, here's a look at your golfing forecast. Expect afternoon highs to top out in the upper 80s, partly sunny skies. You might have to dodge a stray shower or two, but most of us do look to stay dry. Amy.
All right, thanks, Kendall. Anger and frustration loomed at the U.S. Capitol as the nationwide eviction moratorium expired yesterday. Millions of people behind on their rent could face eviction without the federal ban. Members of Congress demanded action on the Capitol steps yesterday to fight for an extension.
This is not okay. We cannot just allow humans, 7 million of them possibly, to over the next few weeks be sent out to the streets.
The White House says a recent Supreme Court decision prevents the CDC from approving an extension. New COVID-19 cases are up 150% across the nation over the past 2 weeks, according to Johns Hopkins, while mask mandates are returning in some places. And as Michael George reports, the CDC is warning that vaccinated Americans can transmit the Delta variant as easily as people who haven't gotten the vaccine.
In Florida, now the nation's largest COVID hotspot, the CDC reports daily new cases surpassed 21,000 on Friday.
Once it started getting pretty bad and my godmother got it and she had to go to the hospital, I just realized that it's time to step up, get a vaccine.
And as the highly contagious Delta variant spreads nationwide, the new school year is fast approaching.
We go back to school. It's going to be a very fun experience with half the people not wanting to wear masks. A lot of people that are unvaccinated and people that are coming to school that are sick.
While vaccinated people have a strong level of protection, new Delta variant data, in part, prompted the CDC to reimpose its indoor mask guidance.
Vaccinated people who do have a breakthrough infection are clearly capable of transmitting the infection to an uninfected person.
So really, whenever there are people congregated together, you need to wear a mask. If you have young children at home, elderly, or people with immune suppression, you probably want to wear a mask around them presently.
This Sacramento, California restaurant owner says he understands mask mandates, but they come with controversy.
People that don't like masks certainly let us know they don't like masks.
And the massive Lollapalooza Music Festival is underway in Chicago.
These are my negative COVID test from yesterday and his vaccination.
My vaccination card.
Amid worries that Lollapalooza could become a super spreader event, organizers are hoping performances stay front and center and that COVID is shut out. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Broadway theatergoers will need to prove they've been vaccinated, and masks will be required when theaters reopen in the coming weeks. The move comes after the Actors Equity Association said it would require cast and crew members to be fully vaccinated.
Yes, well, after almost 18 months of Broadway's not being open, to have 36 shows opening through December 31st is a joy that's difficult to put into words. It's just pure joy.
Shows are set to start back up in New York City in September. The theaters may reconsider protocols in October. An outpatient therapy service out of Preston is helping kids and their families stay positive with the help of horses. News on 6's Johnny Resendez joins us live with that story this morning. Good morning, Johnny.
Well, good morning, Amy. Well, Kimberly Wayne, the head instructor of Overcross Counseling and Equine Services, says her therapy sessions are her way of giving back to her community. Now, the services Overcross provides range from individual and family counseling to group sessions where everyone gets to do activities to learn more about teen work. Now, Wayne says she also tries to bring in African-American kids to introduce them to horseback riding and country life in hopes of giving them lifelong leadership skills. Now, as the only state licensed equine therapist in Oklahoma, Wayne says she knows how important it is for people to have access to quality mental health resources, but she also wanted to make going to therapy fun. So she says she decided to combine two of her favorite things, horses and helping people. She tells me her goal is to make horseback riding just as effective, if not better, than a standard therapy session.
If you don't want to go to the traditional office to get your therapy, you could come here. You know, you can come out here, we're going to work through things. And a lot of people always say, I can't believe I just talked to you about that.
Now, if you're interested to know what Overcross is all about, we have a link to their website on newson6.com. Johnny Resendez, Oklahoma's own News on 6.
All right, awesome story. Thanks, Johnny. Osage Sky News 6 pilot Dustin Stone and photographer Matt Ron see all sorts of unique things while covering news across green country from the air, but one piece of art in Hominy caught their eyes, so they drove to Osage County to learn more.
For artist Che Tullis, this stack of old newspapers and magazines represents years of memories.
Saw my first original when I was 2 years old, got $5 for it, bought all the Hershey's chocolate a 2-year-old could possibly buy, and then got sicker than a dog and decided I wanted to do that for the rest of my life.
And for decades, he's been filling his gallery in downtown Hominy with art.
That's what all of this is. It's passion and the action of passion.
Some of his work is too big for any gallery, though, like one of his most famous works called New Territory.
Me and Matt were flying over town for another story a week or so ago when we saw these sculptures
right
on the hill here on the west side of town.
Yeah.
Tell me about this.
It was new territory for me because I'd never done a sculpture before. It was new territory for the community of Hominy.
The 20-foot tall silhouettes have been standing over Hominy for over 20 years. But Che isn't quite ready to admit that it's been that long.
I'm not that old.
You said 97's when the idea.
Yeah, it's been up there quite a while.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's just say that.
Sure. Che says the idea for the sculptures was born when he saw a picture of his own artwork in a tourist magazine.
In that photograph, that hill popped up. And I went to bed that night after I read the article about the murals and had a dream to do that sculpture on the hill.
Che says the sculptures represent different Native American tribes that have called this area home.
The Osages were forced here and forced to purchase this piece of property, what we call the Osage Reservation. So that was it was new territory for them.
He says that history is important.
You can't have Oklahoma history without having Native American history. I think it's the richest thing on Mother Earth. I think it's the most elaborate, awesome story ever told.
In Hominy, Dustin Stone, Oklahoma's own News on 6.
That is a really cool story, and so is this one. Check this out. Some cast members of the movie Killers of the Flower Moon, including Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro, visited the Philbrook Museum of Art here in Tulsa yesterday. The museum shared these pictures on Facebook. Staff say they even got to show De Niro a picture in the museum's permanent collection that was painted by his father. That is awesome. The Professional Bull Riders Express Ranches Classic continues at the BOK Center in downtown Tulsa this afternoon after some history-making action last night. World champion Jose Victor Lemmy broke records going up against #1 ranked bull Whoopa with a score of 97.75. That's the highest score ever recorded during the league's 28-year history. But as the PBR tells it, not everyone is rooting for the Cowboys.
It's the craziest thing, but when you come out and you witness it, you start to see when the bull bucks out the Cowboys, people cheer because that's their favorite bull.
The action picks back up this afternoon at the BOK at 1:45.
From the Bob Mills Weather Center, meteorologist Kendall Smith.
Well, scattered showers and thunderstorms is what we're having to deal with to start off our Sunday morning, but not everyone is picking up on the precipitation. It's very spotty in nature, so as we take a look on radar this morning, here in the immediate Tulsa Metro, we're dry. That's the good news, but just off to the west of us, that's a different story. So light shower activity falling from Yale all the way over to Stillwater, down to the south of I-35, Oklahoma City getting in on some pretty heavy rainfall at this time, but no severe weather is expected today. Later on this afternoon, we might have a few stronger storms start to develop, and they could have some strong gusty winds, but it's not going to be anything that severe, just going to stay below the severe limit. So that's the good news. But temperatures are in the low to mid 70s right now. So 74 in Tahlequah as well as here in the metro, 76 in Muskogee and Stigler, and 77 in McAllister and Wilburton. So if you are headed out to the PBR this afternoon, just expect to dodge a few isolated showers and thunderstorms as afternoon highs top out near 88 with a breeze out of the north anywhere from 10 to 15 miles an hour. Could gust upwards of 20 miles an hour, so it might be a little bit breezy. And also, if you're doing some yard work today, you might just want to hold off today because we are going to have to dodge a few of those showers. But then as we head into the work week, a large majority of the week, we are going to be dry and clear. You're good to go for all of those yard work concerns.
Good to know. Thanks, Kendall. Still ahead, the ODOT launches a new program to help teens safely drive through work zones. We'll tell you about the prize they're offering to teens who complete that course. And some athletes with genetic heart conditions could get to return to sports. News on 6 anchor Leanne Taylor has that story and much more in your Sunday Morning Medical Minute.